All right. Hello, good day, greetings, hola. Hope I find everybody well today. For all is well in all of creation. Oh. Where to begin? Feeling into it. Let's begin with the title of this video, or one of the possible titles, or two of the possible titles. I just want to bring to awareness, when I'm making these videos, I have to decide what to call them. I have to decide what I say or what I don't say at some point. There's always a awareness, a consciousness that comes up that brings it in. Then there's the human, the mental, in a way, that expresses it. So there's always a balancing between the two, between the mental and the expansionness and the consciousness. You could say the two titles for this video could be, one is the space in between, the other is all is mental. Or you can even put it is a holograph. It's a hologram. It's a holographic universe. That could be another title. Everything is just a hologram, or dream, an illusion. It's all just happening up here. How really is there up there? We won't go there today. But when I'm naming these videos and when I'm deciding to talk about it, I have to feel into it. Because you can say everything comes together. There's a mental and there's an expansionness. There's a gravity, a structure, and there is the expansionness. I can say all is mental, and it kind of feels a bit more dark. Not bad, that's not, but it feels like it has more gravity, has less light in it, less compassion, less freedom, less expansion. I can say the video is called The Space in Between. That's much more brighter, much more consciousness, a little more airy-fairy in a way, a little bit more loosey-goosey. It doesn't give you something that is so mental to hang on to pull you into gravity. Because there's a balancing point. How much information to give, how much data to give, and how much just to let you experience. How much, because the true wisdom I can't give to you. Your wisdom comes from you. It does not come from me. I can say, hey, feel into this. Open yourself to this and allow that wisdom to come in. And you'll realize it for yourself. Yes, early on, it takes time. It takes a while. You have a lot of blockages and belief systems that have to be cleared away. A lot of that mental, dark, gravity structure. By dark, I don't mean bad. It's just the shadow of the light. It's actually a beautiful thing, without any structure at all. We just be in, we'd be in oneness. But it wouldn't be our own oneness. It'd be a group oneness. It'd be an unsovereign oneness, unsatisfying. If it was satisfying, we wouldn't have left. To find oneness within ourselves, to find balance within ourselves, so we could experience it for ourselves without having to have other beings connected to us to experience it. To give it contrast. So yes, so the name of the video, I'm going to go with the space in between. I like that. That's a beautiful the space in between. Because if you follow quantum physics or science, modern science to a degree, you may have heard reality isn't really solid. Scientists have discovered it's not really as solid as it appears to be. There's all this space in between everything. This expansion. You could say consciousness. But it is the mind that tells us that the house is solid. Why does the mind tell us that? So is the mind creating gravity? Is it creating solidness? Or is it just giving you what you believe? I'm going to leave it open-ended for you to feel into. There's a beauty in gravity. There's a beauty in structure, because with structure, you get experience. With airy fairies, it's all just, I exist. Which is beautiful. But, once you desire to experience yourself, to feel yourself, to be with yourself, to fall in love with yourself, consciousness does. It just, you can say it loves experience it, because it loves falling in love with itself. It loves being with itself. Just being. It doesn't play all the human mental games. I was told you have to think of the consciousness like an infant baby. It doesn't really think. Your consciousness doesn't think. It doesn't have a mind. It has angelic senses. It has a knowingness, a nous. But it doesn't think. That's why you can say, that's why the word infant and infinite are very similar. The infinite is like an infant. It's just experiencing itself. It's just being. A little baby doesn't go out and get a job, and unless you watch what was that cartoony movie, Baby Boss. Unless you think that's reality. Yeah, babies don't get up and go around. They just kind of sit there and be. They sleep, they're awake. They're asleep, they're awake. But they're not really doing anything. They're just being. That's kind of how consciousness is. Just being. It's passive. Consciousness is just there. And it gets the active through its creation of energy. You can say it's gravity, but it's just energy. By gravity, I don't just mean like physical gravity. That's a manifestation of energy. It's not actual physical gravity. That's a manifestation and experience, so you could have an experience of gravity. It's more multidimensional than that, because the I am that I am is multidimensional. So its gravity has to be multidimensional as well. And it creates this energy, this beautiful, sweet energy that creates structure, that brings things together, creates universes. Now, the energy doesn't create it on its own. It follows consciousness. Consciousness saw within itself all its potentials and brought its potentials into realization, into awareness, into experience by the use of energy. And you can feel into this energy because it's not just energy. There's consciousness there too. The space in between all this wood that science says is there says, well, it's actually mostly empty. There really isn't anything solid there. So what's actually there? There's the energy, and there's consciousness. There's awareness. It's in everything. That's why you can feel into everything. It's consciousness experiencing what it's like to be a board on my porch. We're going to talk a little bit. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about nature, the nature kingdom, or even the fairy realms. Because everything is true in a way. You know, fairies are real, but not in the way that you think that they are. Because that's a mental understanding, the children book understanding of fairies. Little fairies that live in little flower houses and collect nuts and berries or whatever fairies are supposed to do, riding little birds. It's not it. You can see nature. No, we'll bring comparison here so you can feel into it. Feel into nature, to trees, grass, the animal kingdom. Just the natural organicness of life. And you're going to feel, well, we go the right way. It's going to feel much more expansive. It doesn't seem to have as much control to it. You say something like if you went to a big city like New York, Berlin, London. Those are have more gravity in them, have much more structure. And structure brings tightness, order. Nature doesn't have as much order to it. It seems chaotic. But as you study nature, you realize there is an organization to the chaos, but it just doesn't follow the same pattern every time. It's not like the birds have a stoplight and a stop sign and a road they have to follow. They can fly a different pattern every day if they want to. But a lot of times they'll take the path of least resistance. It's usually what nature follows, the path of least resistance. Energy follows the path of least resistance organically, naturally. Now we can talk back about the fairy kingdom. Well, if there's consciousness in everything, now nature doesn't really usually have much of a mind in it, like especially trees and plants. It's just kind of like pure consciousness almost. It's just, I am a tree. I'm consciousness, experiencing being a tree. Oh, and it sings in love and joy just being a tree. It doesn't care how tall it grows. It doesn't care if it gets water or not. It doesn't care if you cut it down and make it into firewood. Animals have more awareness in them. They have a mind. They have feelings. They have things, but they're not soul beings. And by that, they don't get caught into the gravity like you and I do. They don't get caught into the reincarnation cycle in the same way we do, where we have to repeat lessons and learn things. Animals are much more free. They can reincarnate in any way they just enjoy to. And that consciousness. But still, it's just your consciousness. Because there is no external. All of this is happening within you. So that wood is you. It's your energy and it's your consciousness. So where all the animals you see, all the people you see in your reality are you. Doesn't mean you're controlling them, but they're kind of hooked into, I guess we can say, use the modern term, the matrix, the computer, the mass consciousness. But nature has its own mass consciousness. It's a lot more bright. It's not as dense as, say, human mass consciousness, which has a lot of gravity because it's very mental. This is very organic, very free, very expansive. The nature. I'm trying to playing with all my settings here, but it's much more expansive. That's why it's so relaxing to me just to walk in the woods and to feel that freedom, that expansiveness that you don't get in a city. A city just feels tight and organized and frictiony and rigid and rule bound. It's all just energetics. You can feel into all of it. To gravity, into expansion. That's why I say meditation feels a bit more gravity based. It has a lot of mental ideals in mass consciousness that put a lot of regulations upon it, belief systems upon it. So if you just say, I'm going into be a meditator, you're unknowingly going into, I believe in this mass consciousness bullshit. Even if you don't really know about it, it makes a hindrance. It brings a gravity that makes it tougher to get out and say, hey, instead of just meditating, why don't you just every once in a while take a nice deep breath. It's freedom. Don't have to add rules to it. Don't have to regulate it. You just do it when you feel like doing it. You can sit anywhere. You can stand. You can walk. You can take a bath. There's no fucking rules. You can do it while reading a book, while watching a movie. I don't give a shit. It's much more freedom, less restriction, more organic, more natural. It has less gravity in it, so it'll have less friction in it. The more you go into structure, into things, the more gravity you get, the more difficult things become. This is why you can say, science nowadays will say there's a possibility that the universe is a hologram. But thousands upon thousands of years ago, mystics says it's just a dream. It's an illusion. They didn't have a word hologram yet, but they already knew it. The mystic went into the path of least resistance and just realized it's just there and I can know it. Science takes the path of logic, of structure, and therefore it has a lot of resistance in it, so it takes them centuries and centuries to get to the same idea that some mystic just sat by a tree one day and just, I just realized it's an illusion. Oh well. Didn't get all heady about it. Oh. Oh yeah, I was going to tell you. Well, I guess that's what I'm just getting to. Feel into things. Feel into things have gravity and structure. Things have expansion is good. Feel into those two expressions. Neither one's. It's not that cities are bad and evil. No, they're not. It's not nature is better. There's a beautiful balance in between. A balance of experiencing yourself. A balance of having enough structure where I can feel this wall, where I can touch it, where it feels so sensual, so vivid, so real. And at the same time, I can see it's just an illusion. It's not a lie. That's why we say it's a half-truth. It is real. That feeling, that sensual feeling, that true experience is there. Yeah, at the same time, it's an illusion. So what? It's all happening within us. It's the beauty of things. As long as you don't get caught into the gravity of things, into that dense, hard reality, you can loosen up a bit. This is where you get the idea of spontaneousness. Spontaneousness is very loose and freedom. I should say, do not get mental about this. Do not take this into the fucking mind and make a fucking religion or make a fucking practice or make a to-do list out of it, because if you're doing that, it just becomes that. It becomes heavy, hard, fucking mental gravity again. You cannot take this into the mind. The mind will just make gravity of it. You can be aware of it, then you can allow it, the expansion, the wisdom to come. I know humans are usually very impatient. They want it now, 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 now. I want it now. So they're impatient, waiting for the organicness for a tree. You know, it's like waiting for this. You're planting a seed in the soil, and you're watering it every day with your consciousness, with your awareness, and you're allowing it to grow. It takes a while for the tree to fucking grow, for it to grow up. It takes a few seasons for it to bear fruit, so you can pick the fruit and eat it. The human's like, oh damn, this takes so fucking long. I'm just going to go back into the mind and go to the grocery store. I want the quick and easy way out of it. I'm going to go and make a mental thing. I'm going to try and be spontaneous. Holy shit. That's so mental. Trying to be spontaneous. You can't try. You just are. It just happens. That's it. If you're trying to do things, you're just going back into the mind. You're going back into friction, into gravity. I try to be a righteous, holy person. You're gonna fucking fail at it. You're going to have so much resistance, so much suffering, so much pain. Trying to be a good person, trying to be all these things. You don't need to try. You just be. You be. And at first, yes, it takes a while for like some of the stuff to fall away and for it to clear out as the belief system goes. And you just realize, oh, I can be spontaneous. I don't have to try and be spontaneous. I just follow the heart. Heart says, oh, today, I want to make a video. I'll do it. I don't question what the video is going to be about, where it's going to go, how it's going to go. You just fucking do it. But that takes a while before that really starts to happen, and you get comfortable. A lot of times it happens too early on. You just don't trust it. It's like you'll get a feeling about something. I was told once, you ever go to the gas station or something, you're grabbing a drink, you're not paying attention, you actually grab the wrong drink? Buy it. Be spontaneous. Just realize, oh shit, I didn't mean to grab that, but I'll give it a try. Something new, something different. You know, be more open to things, you know? Open to trying new foods. Open to listening to new music, going to just whatever. Something that maybe like seems out of character. You said get invited to it, just go. Doesn't mean you're going to love it or like it or anything of that nature, but it's an experience. We'll go back to it comes to you. When you just walk into it, when you're just following the heart, you just say, I'm just going to walk into it. I don't know what that means. I'm going to trust the heart will be there and that it'll come to me. Everything comes to you. Perfectly what you need in the moment. And as long as you don't go into the mind and try to fight that and try to say, well, I don't know if this is really what I need. It's exactly what you need. Exactly. Always exactly. You just assume that it is, you walk into it. It doesn't mean you have to go anywhere anybody asks you to do anything. You could always say no to. I'm not saying you have to be yes person. Oh, I'll do that. No, if you don't want it. If someone asks you, hey man, I'm going to the zoo. Do you want to go to the zoo? And you're just like, nah, I don't feel like going to the zoo today. You're saying fucking no. I have to say things like this because I know how humans can get so mental about things and so linear and start in such focus. There's a clue for you how the hologram works. Focus. Gravity in awareness. What is focus? But if you get so mental about things, it causes trouble. Because then you just causing all this restriction, and you come back to me and say it didn't work. I allowed, and I was like, no, you didn't fucking allow. You got all mental about it, and you tried allowing, but you didn't actually just allow. There's a difference. Trying to allow is not allowing. There's no trying. There's no doing. It's just allowing. It's just being. It's just existing. I'm going to leave it there for now. I wish you all a wonderful day. As always, it's my pleasure and my joy to make these videos. It's so much fun. I have so much passion and joy for it. Thank you all once again.